Hi, my name's Justine. I'm assistant head here. Thank you for joining UTC Plymouth on this grey and miserly day. We hope you're sitting comfortably and you can relax and enjoy meeting some of our key staff, some representatives from our employment partners, some past and present students, and they can inform you what it's like to study here, what it is that makes us unique, and of course what qualifications we have to offer to support you in your next steps. Before we go into any of that, the purpose of us live streaming is so that we can answer your questions. So please, if there's no question too small, no question too big, we've got a panel of experts that can answer your question live at the end of our presentation. So please, if you use the buttons at the bottom of your screen to type away, and we've got somebody manning that. If we don't get back to you at the time, we'll most certainly answer them at the end. But before we get started, please join me on a tour, a facilities tour, so you can have a look at our building and see our facilities and where you will be working should you choose to join us.
Welcome to UTC. My name's Justine. Let's go and take a look around. So this is our ground floor learning hub, and also what would ordinarily be the canteen. It's not normally how it looks because of the current climate. We have our students working in their boxes, but normally this is a real hive. It is the beating heart of the school. It's where we eat together, where we socialise, and at the moment you can see it's being used for some brilliant learning. And welcome to where all of the action happens. So this is the first of our engineering workshops. We have state-of-the-art equipment, we have industry standing working practices, but I'd like to introduce you to our Head of Engineering.
Hello, I'm Alan Austin. I'm the Head of Engineering at UTC Plymouth. We're in the engineering workshops at the moment. This is our project area and our CNC machining area. We have state-of-the-art machinery. It's all industry standard. We have a CNC milling machine and a CNC lathe. We also have smaller machines, which are CNC as well, but they use them for the Formula One in schools projects. As we walk through, we're just coming in to the hand skills area and the machining area. It's a nice big space. We've got plenty of bench work here so students can do hand skills. We've also got plastic forming. This is industry standard from injection moulding right through to vacuum forming. As we're walking through, we also have a forge area which we can do sand casting. We can also do a bit of metal bashing, which is forming metals using compression. And now we're in the machining section. We've got 2 milling machines and 3 lathes. All of the machinery in here is exclusively used for all of the year groups. We're planning to make sure that everyone gets to go and everyone has the chance to use industry standard machinery. We're now in the automotive and welding workshops. In here we have cars, as you can see as we're walking through. Students will be in here stripping the cars down, learning about MOTs and services and how a car works, the basic components. We do a lot of projects, so we've got project cars around a lot of the time. We're walking now into the fabrication and welding area where we have a CNC plasma machine, again state-of-the-art, industry standard. We also have fabrication machines for folding and cutting metal. And then just in front of me we have welding bays. The welding bays incorporate MIG, TIG and oxyacetylene welding. And then we have our classroom space within the workshop where we can always break away to do any lessons that we need to.
So this is a playground for our budding carpenters, as well as facilitating all of these amazing vocational and practical skills. It is absolutely crucial that our young people develop the academic rigour that's needed to get the qualifications that give them choice. Here is one of our computer suites, and they are fully equipped with all of the vocational and academic software that you need to succeed. We're in one of our product design rooms. This space is mainly used for electronics, but we also do a lot of design work. So here is one of our academic classrooms, an English room. It is absolutely critical that our young people leave with a very good, well-rounded suite of qualifications, in particular English, maths and science, because our partners need them in order to offer those apprenticeship places. Maths. It underpins the whole of our STEAM curriculum, and this is another one of the spaces where you will learn how maths can be applied in a very practical way, and without it you will not be able to apply the skills that you're learning in the workshop. Science is the S in STEAM, and this is one of 5 laboratories in which you'll be exploring, you'll be experimenting and getting all of that knowledge and skill set that you need to be successful. Welcome to one of our breakout spaces, which every year group has as their own. We meet here every morning for our professional briefing to set us up for the day ahead. They are used as social spaces and sometimes quiet spaces where we can give support on a one-to-one level if needed. So this is our sixth form space. It is a space for independent learning. It is a space for applying for jobs, for applying for apprenticeships, and of course for socialising.
So what is a UTC? In a nutshell, university technical colleges are traditionally actually 14 to 19-year-old vocational colleges. However, at UTC Plymouth, we've just had our first year 7 cohort as well. The remit with it, there's about 41, 42 colleges around the country, and they are designed to feed directly into local economy to provide employers with high quality employees, well trained, well qualified, and in Plymouth that works within our STEAM industries. What about this UTC, and in terms of what we think's really special about us? Not only is it about our facilities, which you've just seen, but it's also our location. We are over the road to Devonport Dockyards. We have Babcock on our doorstep. Princess Yachts is just up the road, and these are just a couple of the partners that you would be working with if you chose to join us. Our location in Devonport has fantastic transport links. We have students currently out of lockdown that are travelling within a 20-30 mile radius to get the specialist education that they want. And also, I think, or what students and parents and staff reportedly feedback to us, the support here is unparalleled. And to tell you a little bit more about that, I'd like to introduce our head teacher, Jo Ware, who's going to explain a little bit more about what makes us really special. Jo?
Hi, thank you so much, Justine. Okay, so what makes us really special? Well, there's many things actually, and I think at the moment a question that's on many of your lips are what's the future? We are currently still in a pandemic. Why would you perhaps want to join us? Well, there are many reasons. There are lots of opportunities, particularly in year 11, that you may feel that you have missed out on. Maybe work experience opportunities, experiences to get out there. What we can offer you is that opportunity in year 12. So not only will you get the chance to do work experience, you will be absolutely privileged to have your own industry mentor. Regardless of whether or not you know what you want to do, we offer a range of courses for all kinds of future careers that we might not even know exist yet. We are really lucky, and we pride ourselves on having the absolute best governors who are in really influential places within the city. As a university technical college, we're linked directly to Plymouth University. So if you're looking at that higher education route, we can guide you. If you're looking to go into the Navy, you'll hear a bit more about that later. We can guide you in that direction. If you're looking for an apprenticeship or employment, whatever you want, we will support you. We absolutely pride ourselves, if you ask any of our students, on looking at the individual. We're on first name terms, and we are about absolutely supporting you to be the best that you can be, working with you in every way, shape or form, whatever that might be. I'd also say that our information and guidance is second to none. That is an absolute no-brainer. If you want to be supported, if you're not sure what you want to do, we can help you with that. And again, you'll hear more about that later on. We have a real strong set of core values that are linked almost to the Navy core values. And amongst those are professionalism and respect and dedication and discipline and resilience. And we're all showing resilience, I think, right now. And we're all feeling a little bit up and down with what's going on. But what I can assure you is you will be supported, whatever this academic year may bring, to move forward. And as a UTC, we're absolutely dedicated to be part of Plymouth's recovery. And if you are interested in something different, if you feel like it's time for you to take a risk because it's out of your comfort zone, then get in contact with us and we can tell you what we have to offer. We're fairly new. Most of us have only been here for a couple of years. That means our students are fairly new as well. And they are very, very used to welcoming new people. So I could go on forever, but I will stop there because I'm sure there'll be some questions later on to answer. And there are other people that want to talk, but I'll speak to you again in a second. Thank you.
Thank you, Jo. That was wonderful. And we've already started to get some questions coming through. So please don't be shy. As I said, anything at all, our panel will be collecting at the end to answer those for you. I'd now like to introduce a key player. Pete is our head of Key Stage 5. He is also our assistant vice principal across Mill Bay and UTC Plymouth, because of his absolute specialism in building those relationships with partners and the careers advice that comes with that. So Pete, hello, are you there? Hi Pete, would you like to take yourself off mute?
There we go. Schoolboy error already, look. Evening, everybody.
In our virtual world, all of these little things that we have to remember, don't we? So Pete, you've been here for a long time, since the start of UTC actually, so you must have seen some changes. Would you like to run through what some of those changes are?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, started 2013, so been here from day dot. So sort of the changes that we've seen, particularly in the city, is a massive movement towards actually the apprenticeships being celebrated as a destination option for students, and it's something that as a whole, Plymouth is very good at supporting the youth network with that and making sure that there are some real tangible destinations for students to go to. There is a real pull in manufacturing, which we're involved in, and there's also a real sort of push towards the digital technologies. But latterly, sort of changes that we've seen is well, the reason we're doing what we're doing now right now is a virtual input, and there's a lot of our support employers are actually setting up a lot of virtual opportunities for students to engage with, whether that's the career offers or whether that's the virtual work experience. So we're all moving in this sort of digital way and making it sort of work for us at the moment and work to our advantage. So I know Hannah will probably latterly go on and talk about the Babcock options, but actually having an insight and a tour around Babcock virtually, having the opportunity to have a Q&A with an apprentice that's already in place. These sort of things weren't available 12 months ago. And actually sort of if you look at some positives that could come out of COVID, this is definitely one of those things.
No, I agree with you, and I think that there's definitely some positives to be taken, because all it can do is widen those opportunities that we have to offer, which were quite numerous initially in the first place. And you mentioned a little bit about as a UTC, we are privileged, and it is to our advantage, I think, that remit to supply the city with quality, to boost the economy, to look to the future, it's fantastic, and there's always a real energy and buzz around that, I think, here, and that change, I think, as well, from manufacturing and engineering. You mentioned a lot about virtual and a lot about digital, but we've had to facilitate the economic change in the city via our courses. Would you be able to explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So the scene in Plymouth is the largest concentration of manufacturing south of Birmingham in the country. So manufacturing is very much steady and alive in the city. And then what we're seeing is that transition towards sort of digital technologies. So in order to sort of make sure that we're able to accommodate those skill sets for students, we are looking at branching out from just doing the BTEC and engineering and looking at the digital technologies. Lee's going to cover that in a bit more detail, but there is an opportunity for students to actually gain experience on a BTEC course of doing IT. So looking at coding, looking at sort of how that can be linked into the sort of the manufacturing scene. So it's not just about actually producing the products or the items, but it's actually maintenance, it's operation, and a lot of that can be done to programming. And so it's about making sure that we're able to equip students for the jobs that will change in the future and make sure they're ready to adapt and have the skill set to actually meet that need and demand.
Wonderful. And a little bit about students that have preceded, because we're really, really proud, aren't we, of our final destination rates?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, so again, we're able to celebrate this year that 100% of our students have gone on and are not in NEET. So what that means is not in, so that they're in education or training or employment. So our students do go on to actual destinations, and we make sure we support them with that. This year we've got further education is about 10% went on, as it's scrolling along the bottom there. We've got the forces at 15%. And the forces, that incorporates the Royal Navy. We've got an affiliation with the Royal Navy. On Friday, I watched a virtual passing out of one of our students from completing their their training at Raleigh. So they had their basic training, they passed out, and they're now in the accelerated apprenticeship scheme, which as an offering of £32,500 for students that leave the BTEC level 3. So it is something that's really, really sort of a great selling point for us to have that affiliation. And then apprenticeships this year was about 30%. And then the higher education this year, and that is due to the course running for that level 3 in digital technologies that really boosted up our percentage of HE and students progressing on to university to do. A lot of them was looking at the cybersecurity. So there are a real sort of broad spectrum of destination options for students if they go through the level 3 process with us.
Excellent. Lots of interesting information, and I know that there's more questions coming through, Pete, so I certainly know it won't be the last that we've heard of you.
All right, thank you.
But what I would like to do actually is bring Lee in. Lee is our curriculum specialist, and despite all of the wonderful opportunities that we have to get involved in employer engagement and the leadership skills programs that we have running, the extracurricular opportunities, actually, it doesn't mean a great deal unless you leave with the qualifications that are going to move you into your next stage. And so, Lee, what are we offering? Because there's been some changes, hasn't there? We've listened to student voice, we've listened to the word on the street in terms of how Plymouth is developing economically, and what's this looking like now, our offer.
All right, thanks, Justine. So as with all UTCs, our focus on the curriculum development is on progression. So either at Key Stage 5 into higher education or into apprenticeships, as Pete's already gone over. We have seen some changes locally in the employment market in the STEM sector. It's worth saying that it is the biggest employment base in the city and locally is STEM industries. So traditionally, we've offered the BTEC level 3 in advanced manufacture. That's been our bread and butter at Key Stage 5. That is still there. That's an offer we still have. So the figures that Pete was going over, the majority of those students have come from that BTEC. As you'll see there, actually, last year we had more going into degree courses at higher education than we have actually going into apprenticeships. Okay, so there's still different pathways coming from that, and it's a really valid offer. If we could get the overlay up there of the courses, thanks very much. So we still offer that. That's our technical engineering pathway. That is designed really to fulfill the city's need for higher apprenticeship places. Okay, so it is an academically rigorous course, the level 3 BTEC. It's equivalent to 3 A levels there, and that combines really that academic study with that practical experience of working in the workshop and getting the understanding of both areas of that. Employers have told us that they need to see an accompaniment of strong mathematical skills in engineering. Okay, so we partner that with AS Core Mathematics. Now, we are getting feedback from the sector that they're looking for more graduates, not more than the apprenticeships, but there are certainly more graduate opportunities coming up there. So we've opened up our academic engineering route. Okay, it's very similar to the technical engineering route. The only difference is you drop to a 2 A-level equivalent on the level 3 BTEC. So you're still getting that workshop-based experience as well as the academic study there. But we partner that with A-level maths or A-level physics. So that is really developing the skill set there to go on to that higher education pathway to develop those academic skills in that study area. As Pete was saying as well, there's been or we're seeing currently a growth in the digital technology sector, particularly with programming and research and development there. So we're responding to that. This is where the jobs are going to be coming up in the next few years. We're going to see a big bloom in that sector. So we're now offering level 3 extended diploma in information technology, and again partnering that with AS Core Mathematics. And again, so that's if you're going into research and development and games design, that sort of thing, programming, that's the pathway to go through. And finally, there in our level 3 cluster of courses, not all engineering jobs are actually fulfilled by engineers. Actually, the sector needs lots and lots of skill sets to support that delivery. And obviously, with any successful product or system, there's going to be some element of creative design that goes into that before it's launched. So we have a 4th strand there, which is creative art and design. That's another level 3 BTEC qualification to study art and design there and gain those skills to enter that sector. And again, that can go straight into apprenticeships or into higher education. We partner that with A-level English as well to develop the communication skills that those employees would need going into that area. Now, we also know that not all of our students are going to be coming from a point where they can enter a level 3 qualification or necessarily want to progress down that route to the higher level apprenticeships or higher education. So we have a pre-apprenticeship course there as well. So on the screen there, it's probably on your far left. Right, so the pre-apprenticeship we use as an access course into our level 3 qualifications for those students that haven't quite got their English and Maths at GCSE to progress. Okay, and you'll see there that we have English and Maths retake courses attached to this. We then have the level 2 MBQ performing engineer operations course. We call it the PEO just for short. It's a bit of a mouthful. But now that is a very practical based course. That's a lot of time on the workshop floor and developing those practical skills. And so students can progress straight from that into apprenticeships as technicians, technical support within engineering or operations, machine operators on the shop floor, that sort of thing. Or if they do have aspirations to go into higher education or higher level apprenticeships, we can use that as a feeder into our other suite of courses. Okay, I think that's it all covered, but certainly if there are any questions, please throw them our way later on.
I think that is all covered. Well done, Lee. You can breathe now. There's a lot of information, a lot of information there, but so privileged to have you both and Pete, and because you know this curriculum has been designed in conjunction with our partners, what they need, what they want, and also what our potential students want as well. As it was a lot of information, that little slide there will go on our website, so you can look at that anytime you choose if you didn't have a pen and paper handy, or if you're finding it difficult to choose between pathways. But to tell you a little bit more about what it is like being a student here, I have 2 students who have made us videos. They couldn't be here this evening, unfortunately, and a very special guest actually, in terms of a student who's dialing in, a year 11 student who's dialing in live from home, who is going to tell us why he doesn't want to leave. But first of all, I'd like to introduce you to Ben, to tell us a little bit about what it's like in real life at UTC. Over to you.
Hi, my name's Ben Mansfield, and the reason I joined UTC is because of the incredible facilities and opportunities that they have at the school. So the workshops that we work in are state-of-the-art with incredible machinery that really tests your engineering skills and knowledge. The teachers really push you to your limits and really help you develop new skills, and the chance to work on the machinery and learn CAD skills and CNC skills is next to none. Another reason why I joined UTC is the close ties with industry in Plymouth and in the country and with the Royal Navy, because I had a huge interest in joining the Royal Navy. We work extremely closely with them, with cadets, and the opportunities are really endless. The careers aspect of the school is brilliant. Pete sits down with us every single week, sees where we're looking to, what we want to do when we're older, giving us all the fantastic opportunities, work experience, speaking to members of industry mentors, being able to speak to as many people as possible to give us the best chance in our future, in our engineering careers.
I would say the college has helped with further steps into a career by giving us lots of different opportunities, this being with industry mentors where you have a one-on-one and you can talk to them, work experience, giving us lots of opportunities to work in engineering organisations, along with the engineering organisations come in and do a breakfast and you get to talk and understand what they do within their company, along with also being advised to go to careers fairs, and if you have any questions you can always ask your teachers. The reason why I chose to go to UTC was because the course is so diverse and you get to do different types of engineering, which I didn't know what type of engineering I wanted to do, so it was really helpful. Along with this, it's like given the BTEC is equivalent to 3 A-levels, you can go on to uni, so it keeps your options open if you want to do university, apprenticeships, or go into the services or any other thing like that.
And that was Victoria, one of our women in STEAM, of which we're getting more and more through the doors, which is fantastic. So all of you ladies out there, we do love Girl Power. We do have specialist women in STEAM program that our girls follow and support each other. Again, with some inspirational role models from our partners. I'd like to introduce our current Year 11 student, Ingus. Now, hi Ingus, can you hear me? Hi, pleased to meet you, and thank you so much for giving your time up outside of school hours to talk to us.
It's okay.
So can you tell us, so you joined in Year 10, didn't you, Ingus? Can you tell us what's different about UTC to your previous school?
Well, there's no divide. Everyone is a family, everyone's on the same level playing field, and you get to know your teachers and the people who like mentor you. You get to know them on a more personal level instead of just them being like your teacher and you're the student. It's very like stuck together. Everyone's very joyful, and it never feels like a drag to come into school. It's always fun to come into school.
Oh, I'm glad. And I think that it helps a little bit, doesn't it? Because you do call us by our first names. We don't write from Year 7, actually. There isn't. We try to cultivate those employment values as we were in the workplace. And so it's good to know that it's working. Ingus, can you, obviously you've, along with the rest of us, have had to move to virtual school. Tell us how you felt supported throughout your time here.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like I have everyone that I need, all my teachers like on speed dial. It's really nice. It's just that you can email and within a minute or so everyone will reply back. But even in the first place, most of the time you don't need to email your teachers. You have all the support you need. There's about 3 different ways that you can take in that information. So they'll set a video, or they'll set like pictures that you can look at, or there's written information as well. So you have all 3 ways of making sure that knowledge sticks in your head. So a lot of the time there's no need to ask a teacher. It's all there and there in the first place.
Fantastic. And I know that you are have been and are currently in our careers advice and guidance program, waiting to find out what those GCSE results are, and what, I know that you've given a lot of thought actually to your next steps, and you have decided to stay here. Would you like to share with us your reasoning for that?
Yeah, of course. Well, it's never foreign ground. Do you know what I mean? I'll be going somewhere where I know every teacher. I know where everything is, and also you're never blind when it comes to the school. You always know every single thing that's going on. There's never any like shocking surprises that will change everything. Everything is informed like way earlier than anything actually happens. So like you just get the information, and it's very easy to just understand. And I like the way everyone teaches, and obviously I know all my teachers off by heart. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Ingus. And we're going to bring you back at the end, and Victoria and Ben, because they are dialing in for any questions that you may have. So please, anything at all. If there's anything you'd like to ask Ingus about what it's like if you are one of our potentially younger students, because we do still have places, please ask away. Ingus or any one of us are happy to answer your questions. So the next natural progression would be to see what some of our alumni students are up to. So ex-students that have been through the UTC system, and we're lucky that quite a few of them still stay in touch with us, inspiring and being role models and helping out. So a couple of videos from oh, I have not checked my list properly. Can we put alumni videos on now?
Hi, my name's Amelia Bully and I studied a level 3 BTEC extended diploma in engineering at UTC Plymouth, and I am now a fabrication apprentice in my first year at Babcock. UTC helped me get where I am today because during the 2 years I was able to learn multiple sectors of engineering such as fabrication, welding, CNC machining, mechanical and also a little bit of electrical, which at UTC is amazing because at most colleges you can't do things such as CNC machining or welding because of the expensive equipment and machinery that you need to do so. So that's why I think UTC stands out compared to other colleges or engineering places, because you are able to learn the basic and also the advanced skills to get you further in jobs, and also find it easier when you are learning those skills in the actual engineering companies such as Babcock. Also at UTC, I was able to get involved in Women in STEM, which is very important because you don't see many women in engineering or the STEM-like careers. So we did events, like we went to Dartmoor Zoo once to promote UTC and Women in STEM. And there was also opportunities to go on the radio and multiple other things, and I also got involved in EES, which is the Engineering Education Scheme, and for that we were given a task by the Royal Navy and Babcock, and we ended up designing and manufacturing a stretcher that would be able to get over the high doors and up the ladders in ships to make it easier to transport. So I think UTC is absolutely amazing, and I definitely recommend going there because you are able to not only learn advanced skills that you can't at most places, but you also get to get involved in multiple opportunities such as the EES and also Women in STEM. And also there is fun events as well, even though the other ones are fun, but you get to do a cardboard boat race, and I did that in my first year at Babcock. And you basically make a cardboard boat and you have to try and manufacture it so that it's going to stay afloat, and it's just really fun. You learn all the teamwork skills, the individual independent skills at the same time, and you also learn your confidence massively, especially if you're a girl, because it was just me and my friend who was in this class full of boys, and you just end up getting involved. It feels like a massive family at UTC. It's absolutely amazing, and I could not recommend it anymore, because without going and doing those 2 years at UTC, I don't think I would be where I am today, with the confidence that I have, and also with all of the new skills that I gained throughout those 2 years as well. So if you are looking for a college to go to, especially if you are interested in any of the STEM skills, such as engineering or science or anything like that, I highly recommend UTC Plymouth.
Hi, my name's Charlotte and I studied a level 3 engineering extended diploma at UTC Plymouth. I'm now currently in my first year of my marine engineering apprenticeship with Princess Yachts. UTC Plymouth helped me get where I am today because of the fantastic facilities that they've got in the workshop. They've got milling machines, lathes, they've got welding facilities where I did a welding qualification. Not only have they got the fantastic facilities in the workshop, which are professional standard, it also helped me in my assignment writing, because now when I'm at college with Princess, my apprenticeship's 4 years. First year, second year and third year are college based. My first year's all at college, second and third year's 1 day a week at college, and the fourth year's on the boat line. Obviously in the second and third year you're also on the boat line as well when you're not at college for the 1 day a week. But obviously in college I've got several units which involve writing assignments, even practical work. You have an assignment to write up after it, so you need to know what equipment you used. So with regards to that, UTC's really helped, know how to set out an assignment, make it look professional. Also, my work experience at UTC actually helped me determine that I wanted to go into marine engineering, because I undertook my work experience at Agram, Assault Group Royal Marines, where I was stripping engines down, and that made me want to go into marine engineering. I also did work experience at Alderman's Tooling, which again was another fantastic experience, and it's really good to have work experience within the sector that you want to go into and pursue your career in, because when you apply for jobs they look at your work experience on your CV, and that's really good when applying for jobs. And also just for the experience in general, you get to experience what it's like working in the sector that you want to go into, and it gives you an idea of what it's going to be like when you actually get a job in that sector. Also, I've had fantastic opportunities at UTC Plymouth outside of the workshop, so extracurriculum. I participated in Field Gun, which was an amazing experience, and also I got to go to La Rochelle and experience the college over there, which specialise in engineering, and go to some firms out there which specialise in engineering and compare it to firms out here. So it's absolutely fantastic to compare our engineering over in the UK to out in France. That was an amazing experience, which I can also say that I participated in. I also got to participate in the engineering education scheme, and my team designed and manufactured a stretcher for a naval ship, which we actually went on to win. That's all about teamwork, communication, all those skills are fantastic to put on your CV, and also the whole experience with the challenge. And overall, UTC's really just helped me become a lot more confident in myself, and it's really helped me get to where I am today in my apprenticeship with Princess. So all my teachers have really helped me, especially during lockdown last year. Everything's a bit slightly different at the moment, but you can get through no matter what, and just stay focused and determined. But yeah, UTC's really helped me get to where I am today in my apprenticeship, and I'm really grateful for the experience that I got at UTC. Also, if you're a girl and you're looking to apply, please don't be put off by the fact that it's a male-dominated environment, because actually in the engineering industry, a lot more companies are looking to employ females, because we need a lot more females in the industry, because we don't want it to just be a male-dominated environment. And in actual fact, girls can do the job just as well as boys can. Princess actually took on the largest intake of girls in the industry this year across all sectors: admin, business, marine engineers, boat builders. So, you know, that just goes to show that we are actually getting somewhere in the industry and progressing. But I 100% recommend UTC Plymouth to anyone who out there is looking to join, because without it I wouldn't have got where I am today.
Amazing testimonies from Charlotte and Amelia, and a lot of their memories are based in works experience, trips abroad, leadership opportunities, and here, despite these strange times, we've just pressed pause slightly on those things, but we're on the up. But here to tell us a little bit more about our partner engagement, we're lucky enough to have Hannah Rose from Babcock. Hannah, are you there?
Yep, hello.
Hi, very pleased to meet you, Hannah, and thank you so much for joining us on this wet and windy night. So just a few questions for you, for our young people who are watching. Could you tell us a little bit about your company and why we have cultivated such a close relationship with your company?
Yeah, of course. So I work at Babcock International, based at Devonport, and we're basically a critical engineering company. So at Devonport, and specifically, our client is the Royal Navy. So so for us, it's very important, and with the sort of roles that we have within Babcock itself, one thing that's really very good with partnering up with you guys is, again, like what's been mentioned, is that your curriculum coincides with what employers like ourselves are looking for. So, looking at the tour that you gave at the beginning of this, it's absolutely fantastic, because you can see how specialist UTC is. We, for example, at Babcock, we look for fabricators, and that's actually quite a skills shortage. So it's really important, knowing that UTC, have those facilities for fabricators, welders, mechanical engineering, also the side that was mentioned, kind of like the design side as well. So we look for apprentices at a level 3, which is what we call the craft level, in all those disciplines, but also at a higher level apprenticeship, which is the level 4. And also earlier was alluded to, sort of like the graduate path as well. So we look for undergraduates, and we look for for people who have completed their degrees. So it's looking at UTC and the fact that you do work very closely with industry. We work in collaboration with UTC, with regards to the mentoring schemes, as well. So there's a really great partnership there. And as I said, I think the facilities that you demonstrated in that video kind of shows that, yes, UTC definitely listen to employers like ourselves. And again, the what we're looking for, it's also about attitude and about respect, and the employability as well, which is obviously taught very well through UTC. I hope that's answered your question. I think I rabbited a bit. Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I've got the most amazing technical team behind me. Thank you, who has unmuted me. It leads really well, actually, in terms of what I was curious about next, from partners' perspective. So we do listen to you, and we do work very closely with our students on what's termed soft skills. This is oracy. We dedicate a lesson a week to oracy communication, so that students feel comfortable having adult conversations, presenting in interview situations. Can you see that coming through in the students perhaps that you interview or that you employ from UTC?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you know, I think it was Amelia that's now working at Babcock. You can see, you know, she's a fantastic example of the students that are coming through. And I think also this year we've been able to engage, as I said, the whole COVID thing has been a bit strange. Normally we would be coming in or attending career fairs, you know, with the PMG, etc. But we're having to do it virtually. So it's been really nice that we've been working very much in collaboration with Pete. I know that you guys have attended every single one of our virtual career fairs, which has been fantastic. And also, you know, we're going to be working with Pete to actually for us to zoom in and do some CV advice sessions from an employer's point of view, and also how to do a virtual interview from an employer's point of view, because with Babcock, you know, normally we would do face-to-face interviews and face-to-face assessment centres. At the moment, as you know, it's all had to go virtual. So it's kind of like, you know, keeping that link. And that obviously comes across in when it does come to those interviews, because you guys, you know, have been working with us and your students are really engaged. And that 100% comes across as how engaged they are.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much. And Hannah, thanks again for staying right till the end, because you will also be on our question panel. Yep. So if there's anybody out there that has any questions for Hannah about the industry, Babcock in particular, please let us know. We are also very honoured to have representation from the Royal Navy. So our Naval Liaison Officer, Lieutenant Commander Paul Youngman, has made a short introduction video for us. So over to you, Paul.
My name is Paul Youngman and I'm a Lieutenant Commander in the Royal Navy. I'm part of the Royal Navy UTC outreach team, and my particular role is Liaison Officer for UTC Plymouth. Out of the 48 UTCs in England, 11 are affiliated to the Royal Navy, and we can use our expertise to come into the college to help develop the curriculum, using the experience of our engineer technicians throughout the Royal Navy to come in and enhance your learning experiences within the colleges. You'll quite often see me around the college or parts of my team, and it wouldn't be unusual to see some of our engineers helping out in the classroom, in the mathematics classroom and in the workshops. We also give the opportunity for you to get involved with the Royal Navy, to do some of our leadership tasks. For example, we have the Royal Navy Field Gun Competition, which is an annual competition for 18 students who will travel down to Portsmouth, having done some training, and take part in the Junior Leaders Field Gun Competition. There are also other academic competitions and engineering competitions that you can take part of. We're a part of the Engineer Development Trust Engineer Educational Scheme, where we allow teams of 5 or 6 to take part to win a part of the Gold Award of the Industrial Cadet Award. We also have the Royal Navy Engineering Challenge, which is a challenge that is run annually, where teams put together a remotely operated vehicle and a maritime vessel to carry out certain tasks on an imaginary island in an imaginary part of the world. All really good information. Always available here to give you advice, to help where we can. All you need to do is stop us in the college and give us the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. And I think one of the differences for us is you do have such easy access to the ladies and gentlemen that know what you need, that have lived and breathed it, that are on the interview panels, that are sifting through the application forms, that have done the job and can answer and teach you, and they're there on your doorstep. It's wonderful. So thank you very much, Paul. We have come to the end of our guest presentations, so it's time for some questions now, of which I'm just having a quick look here because Lee's been filtering them. So if we could have all our panel back on screen, that would be wonderful. And then we can see what's been coming through. So I can see we've got some staff who have been manning as well and answering lots of questions. So thanks, James and Jan. from Alan. But a few that have slipped the net that have come in from other sources are things like, oh, it's probably for Joe. Joe, can you tell us, is there a social space? Is there a space for students to congregate and catch up and support each other? And what is the facility like in terms of recreation?
Okay, fantastic question. So the sixth form had the most magnificent space on the top floor. It used to be a staff room, but the staff don't have a space because the students deserve it more. So we kicked out the staff, and it has beautiful views. Obviously, we are really, really hoping by September that space will be back in use. So the absolute answer is yes. It has its own fitted kitchen, and at the moment, Year 11 are in there anyway. So I think they've moved in. I think they're not going to leave. So you will have a wonderful space, of which the staff are very jealous and will often join you for a cup of tea anyway. Okay.
That's wonderful. If there was a little bit of interference there, Joe's saying you've got the glass box, you've got kitchen space, Year 11 are in there already. They won't move out. Ingus was agreeing with you there, Joe. And it has got the most fantastic views across the Hammers, across the dockyard. Quite really, really wonderful. So yes, that is your space. So question from Frankie. Do you know when we will find out where our children are going in September 2021? And I'm wondering whether that's a potential is it year 6 student, or is it perhaps a year 11 student? I'm going to ask you, Pete, to give an answer for both, please.
Sure, no worries. Yeah, I think that was directed for year 6 into 7. So yeah, we will find out later in the year for that. But those students that are applying for sixth form, the application is available digitally online. You can go onto our website, you can download, and once we've received your application, we'll be in contact to you to discuss what the next stages are, and it will be waiting to the summer to see what happens with the exam results, and then we'll be able to then make sure that we've got a placement for you. But given the exam results and the situation, we're not unsure. As Lee sort of outlined, we have got options for everybody. So if you're looking at, you're worried that you might not be getting your maths and English, we have a PEO option. Or if you think you're going to knock it out of the park, get your grades, then we can look at accommodating you through from the BTECs right through to the A level. So we've definitely got something for all.
That's wonderful. And Lee, perhaps you can just chip in as well, because Lee also is engaged in our transition units. A little bit more about perhaps when year 6s will expect to know their places.
Yeah, so I've just seen Gemma, who's one of our pastoral leads and sits on SLT as well. She's replied online there. We're looking at the 1st of March for the places to be allocated. So that should be put out by the local authority, those coming from primary schools into secondary. So that's our new year 7 cohort. So that's exciting stuff. And yeah, so we do a lot of work with the primary schools across the city, both with citywide STEM events and actually working within the Reach South Academy Trust, of which we're a part, to actually engage those students, even at primary school, with careers advice and opportunities to work on engineering projects. So yeah, all really engaging stuff. And it's obviously filtering through to us at secondary here, where as those kids are gaining those aspirations early on. So yeah.
Fantastic, thanks Lee. Another question from Frankie, and I'm going to ask you, Ben, to answer this one. Are you doing interactive online learning currently? So does that mean you get to engage with it?
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of Zoom calls at the minute. So I'm doing a microcontrollers unit, electronics. So we'll come on the call with our teacher. We'll have our boards, we'll have all of our parts, we'll have our code, and we'll be able to go through things with the teachers that we need. A lot of the work for sixth form, a lot of it is down to us to do personally, but the teachers are always there. We have regular calls that we can ask questions and we can catch up. And yeah, I'm not sure too much about the lower years, but that's how it is for sixth formers.
Jo, because I know we've got some of our younger potential students out there, would you just like to explain what's happening in the younger years in terms of interactive learning?
Yes, hopefully you can hear me. We have a blended learning approach, and so we have looked at all the latest research, and we know that a combination of live interactive lessons and preset work has the best results. So the answer is absolutely yes. We have got student surveys and parent surveys out at the moment. We're always looking to improve, but we have got lots and lots going on virtually and educare as well. So yeah.
Lovely, thanks, Jo. And one for Hannah and Paul. Does going to UTC give you an automatic apprenticeship?
Well, you've got to work really hard. So yeah, it's down to the individual. The individual has to work really, really hard, and they would go through the same recruitment process as anybody else. Paul, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I absolutely totally agree with Hannah. But certainly being at UTC can give you an advantage, because obviously we've already heard about how Babcock get involved with the soft skills, and the Royal Navy personnel do as well. So if you can write this on your application that you have had this experience with Babcock, and that you've been into the naval base, and that you have done certain tasks, this will all enhance your opportunities, and it will certainly put you in good stead at interview. I don't actually recruit. We've got a specialist team that recruit, as do Babcock. And what we can do is we can signpost you to them. And you do have a great advantage with the skills that you learn in UTC. Justine, back to you.
Yeah, I second that. I agree absolutely with Paul there.
Fantastic. And I've noticed that there's been another few questions that have been answered already. So please, we've got another 2.5 minutes. If there's anything burning that you would like to share. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is hand over to Jo, who has a wider school message for you. And thank you very much for your company this evening.
Hi, just want to say thank you to everybody that's taken the time out of their evening. Particularly, many people are kind of getting a little bit sick of being on screen, but it really does mean a lot to us, and thank you to everybody that's contributed. And with regard to recruitment, just to say that we are rapidly growing, and joining the UTC is a fantastic opportunity to be part of what will soon be the second largest UTC in the country. We have got a fantastic offer at the sixth form. We are awaiting our year 7, but we do know that our spaces are full, which again is really exciting. But we are for the final time ever going to be recruiting in year 9. So current year 8 students, this is your kind of last opportunity to be thinking about perhaps doing something different. You could decide to come and visit us when we're open, or make contact with us. And we do have some spaces left to join our current year 9. We will be doing further events later on in the year. And we can go into more detail there. But just to say, thank you so much for being with us. And we really hope we've answered your questions. If you've got any more that we haven't answered, then just give us a quick message and we'll get back to you. And again, thank you so much. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening. And I hope that lockdown is serving you well. Thank you.